What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tapping into another episode of the Mindful Moneymakers, where we have conversations with different creatives, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs all about the different mindsets you need to have if you want to live a life by design instead of by default. Today, we have another special guest, man. We go way back. We actually don't go way back, but we are real cool to this day. I'm seeing him develop. I'm excited about his progression and everything. Today, we have Twan Pope, the cooking actor who's out here just
Yes, sir.
knocking us over the
Sir.
head with some good scenes and some good plates, everything that he could do to create and provide value is he's absolutely doing, and I'm excited to have him on. Thank you for talking with us today.
Yes, appreciate being here. And we go back to November 2018.
Yeah, it's amazing that we made it through the past 8 months alone, so I'll take it.
Man, tell me, it feels like 2 fucking years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll be like, damn, did that happen in 2019 or was that 2 years ago? But it's like, yeah, it was last year.
Time is flying. Time is flying, and I'm glad we connected. I'm glad we met, bro. I'm better for having met you for sure. So I'm gonna start off
Yeah,
off
same.
top.
Likewise.
Yes, indeed. So before we jump in, I actually want to give you the opportunity to tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you got started, where you at right now, and where we headed.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all in the name, the cooking actor, right? Like, what's that about? What's what's going on with that? So,
Mhm.
um, I study theater, have a theater background. Graduated from Oakland School for the Arts um, in 2010. Ooh. And ever since then, just been out here grinding for my own personal career, but also teaching acting and giving back to the youth in various schools around the Bay Area and things like that. Moved to LA, of course, to um, pursue pursue TV and film a little bit more. Of course, got wrapped back right in the theater, which is great. But just along the journey, you start to wonder, what else can I do? What else am I good at, great at? What else can I see myself doing? And not that the acting didn't serve me anymore, but it got to a point to where it's like, it's up and downs. And it got to a point to where I hadn't had an audition in a while. I was working just various jobs that like did not serve me, that I was not happy at. I was slipping into depression, and I just kind of like wonder, like, what can I be doing? I had $2 in my bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, no auditions for a while, working at these jobs. And so with the $2 in my bank account, I said, I'm about to start my business.
Mhm.
And literally it took me just being like, I'm about to start my business. I quit that job. I walked in, you know what I'm saying? I pulled the owner to the side and I was like, listen, thank you for this opportunity, but I can't do this anymore. Um, and so it was scary. It was definitely scary because there is, your job is, that is your fallback plan. That is your, you know what I'm saying, your plan B if acting doesn't work out, or you know what I'm saying, if showbiz is showbiz, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. But for me, I just kind of knew that couldn't be my backup. That couldn't be my, you know what I'm saying, like
Mhm.
clocking in, being on somebody else's time, and they don't really care about your career. They don't really care about the things you have going. You need to show up for their job. And
Mhm.
so for me, I got to a place, like I said, I was broke already. I'm already
Mhm.
working at somebody else's job, helping build their company, and I'm broke.
Mhm.
And so for me, it was just like, I see a greater purpose in myself if I just believe a little bit harder in myself.
Oof.
So what I did was, with that $2 in my bank account, um, I made a flyer,
Mm.
and I basically was like, pre-orders for Thursday. I think this was like a Tuesday. And I was like, I'm selling chicken sandwiches on Thursday. And that kind of was like the spark in everything. So it went from like that one pop-up like a month. You know what I'm saying? I would do it like every other month to where people were like, yo, like, I like your food. I want your food. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to be doing this more. Um, so then I started doing like caterings and different things like that. I started doing the pop-up kitchens a little bit more frequent than just the once a month. And yeah, that's been kind of like, you know, that's kind of like leading me up to where I am today. Right now, it's like now I have a full blown catering business, meal prep business. I'm doing signature cocktails, pop up kitchens, 2 to 3 times a week. Um, but it was just interesting though, because it literally took me to really be unhappy, which is interesting. It took me to be very unhappy to realize what I could be doing for myself and serving myself and creating something that I like to do. I've always loved to cook. You know what I'm saying? So why not do something you love to do? They say that, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't feel like work when you love doing it, when you're having fun. So just like the acting, just like when I'm on set, just like when I'm on stage, the cooking is something that it's a fellowship. It brings friends together. It brings family together, you know? And it's always been a part of like family. It's always been a part of me. I just didn't realize that it was going to lead to this business and where I am today. So I feel like I kind of went off a little bit, but
No, you didn't. No,
okay.
you was right on point, bro. And you just opened it up. You opened up a whole lane to really talk about what creates freedom in people's lives, because your story about how you had $2 in your pocket and you took that, and where people would see lack and limitation, you saw an opportunity to make a flyer that turned into something that is probably more rewarding, more fulfilling, and it's probably, you know, better income financial wise, than having that job was in the first place. And people get trapped in this idea, well, if I don't have this job, I don't have anything, when really, counterintuitively, that job is one of the major things that's holding you back from really
Yes,
tapping in
yes,
to being able to pay your bills and have money to do what you want, have the freedom, have the time. But the thing is, I think the service that the job does for you, and the thing that you need to realize when getting out of your job, is that your schedule is going to be on you. You don't have anybody
yes.
to tell you when to get up and to work and stuff, and when to leave and all that stuff. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? What to do is going to be on you. And all of that stuff, all of these questions being left unanswered, not being able to trust yourself, and not having like a solid strategy, you know, in place to have business success. A lot of people let that stop them, but that's a part of the development process. And if you
Right,
fall in love with that process,
right.
then can nothing stop you. And now you're out here. You know, they say, like you said, when your vocation is your vacation, you never work a day. God
Right.
damn.
Right.
Ain't it true?
Yeah, it definitely is. And you know, for me, it was for me, and I'm sure other people, it's scary. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's scary because you 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 have this. It's a system for me. I call it a system. Like these jobs, these 9 to 5, it's a system. You have these systems, and like I said, they're there to build themselves up. They're there to be, you know what I'm saying, to grow themselves and grow the company. But it's not there to grow you. You're not really, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
growing. You might get a 50 cent raise per year, a
Mhm.
dollar raise per year, a $2 raise per year, but you have to beg for that shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so it's like, as scary as it is to kind of leave that safety net of everything, it's much more rewarding to be able to create your schedule and say, well, you know what, on this day I can't work.
Hmm.
You know
I
what I'm saying?
ain't working.
I ain't working. I'm free on
Yeah.
Tuesday, free on Thursday, but on
Right.
Wednesday, that's my day. I'm going to the beach. Um, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's been the most rewarding for me, is that although the ownership and running the business, it gets stressful. You're funding everything. You are, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
making you're trying to make your life work as best as you can, and
Mhm.
finding the balance between play and work and all those different things. But it's that freedom
Mm-hmm.
that you have to do that shit that provides that sanity. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I'm much more sane than I was a year ago. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? A year ago, I didn't know if I was coming or going. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it just was not mentally, I was not there. I was just floating by. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Just clocking in, doing what I need to do, clocking out, going home, going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no productivity in the day. But it's like now I have to create my plan. I have to create my schedule. I have to create, you know what I'm saying, my business strategy, what I'm doing next. So it's just that push
Mm-hmm.
that you're not going to find, you know what I'm saying, in those safety nets, in those systems, in that 9 to 5.
Right, right. And it's a beautiful thing because then it becomes when you're creating all of these things, now it's not a job, but instead it's a project. So when I talk to people, I don't ask people what they do. I ask people, what are you working on? What are you creating? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So my language has shifted, our whole experience, changes in these areas. There was a question I was about to ask you. But then I get off to saying something else. Shoot.
Me too.
Um,
I'll be like, damn, I hope I'm answering the question. I'm like, my mind just started.
oh man, but you get to create, yeah, you get to create your lifestyle, you get to create your mindset. Oh, and that is what I was going to talk about, because the sanity part about it, when there is a stress, when there is a risk, when there is no visible safety net, you get to be your own safety net first off. That's when you get to create, because you get to bet on yourself. But
Okay.
in order to withstand, in order to tolerate and persevere through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, I think that mindfulness is what comes in and plays that role, where you don't see a set path. You can meditate, you can get grounded, you can find solace and security within yourself. And I
Mm-hmm.
think this is probably the most aligned conversation I've had on this podcast, as far as what the actual purpose is, because we take entrepreneurship, we take making money, we add the mindful part, and now it's a no-brainer. Now you have to get out of your job and into your dreams,
Right.
because where your job is providing you security and peace of
Right.
mind, you learn mindfulness, and now you get to provide that for yourself. Now there's nothing in
Exactly.
your way to get to the money making part.
Exactly.
Mindful money makers. This I'm not gonna say too much. I'm about to say this is the first episode. But I've had so many guests, wonderful guests on here. And I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to, I appreciate everybody, but this conversation is really aligned, to the purpose of the podcast. So I appreciate you for that. You have a hat on that says support Black business.
Yes, I do. This is not my brand, but it is a Black-owned brand. And I feel that it's very important for us to, while we rock our own brands, create our own brands, I think it's very important that when we see another Black entrepreneur out there hustling, that we get at them. You know what I'm saying? That we support them, that we spread the wealth, because it's like, to be honest, I feel like this gonna get a little political, but I feel like that's one of the main reasons that one of the main reasons that Black folks are still experiencing inequality in America is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had the Black Wall Streets, we had those things. And for us, when we look at that, you know what I'm saying? That's great. That's amazing. But we haven't come back from that, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's Black ownership. There is, you know what I'm saying? It's more than it's ever been, but it's so sparse. It's so,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, sporadic and spread out, to where we don't have like the community of it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, anytime I see something that's like Black owned, like, I'm just making it rain on that ass, because you know what I'm saying? It's
That's what he did. I'm gonna I can contend to that, because that's exactly what he did when he found out I had t-shirts.
facts.
He's like,
Like,
made it rain on my ass.
you know, like, it's important. It's really important. It's one thing to post it and, you know what I'm saying, share it. Support comes in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So, sharing it, liking it, commenting on it, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But also break some bread, you know what I'm saying, with
Mm-hmm.
your brother and sister, because you'll do it at Gucci, you'll do
Mm-hmm.
it at Calvin Klein, you'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
I
I
wanna
don't
I
know
wanna
what this
jump.
is. I was just like online shopping one night.
Yeah, grabbed it. Yes, indeed. I'm behind that 100%. I want to pick up, right where you were at. And I also want to say, as an entrepreneur, make sure that your focus is on providing value, not just getting money or starting a business or just looking for support's sake. Because at the end of the day, your client, your customer needs to see value in what it is that you're doing. So don't just put out a t-shirt and you think it's just a hot design. Ain't no story behind it.
Right.
You're saying ain't no selling points. Ain't no, you can't really jump out of yourself and go into the buyer's perspective and say, why would they want this? And
Mm,
what can I do that solves a problem for them, whatever the problem may be. You're saying you want something that looks
yeah.
fly, even if it's as surface as that. But you can go dive deep. The deeper you go, the more support you're gonna find because you're not making it about you. And,
Mm,
and I feel like it breaks my heart to see entrepreneurs getting on social media. Oh, if you can't support me with $5 on a sale, then you ain't my real friend. You ain't no real entrepreneur. Because
right.
look at your why are you doing what you do? Are you
Right.
doing it just for a $5 paycheck? That's gonna come
Right.
and that's gonna go. You gotta
Right.
have some type of substance. You gotta have some type of mission, some type of purpose behind
Yeah.
your business. And I think that's a part that a lot of us overlook, and it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely feel that. I'm definitely always turned off when I like see a post or a status that's like, well, if you can't, yeah, it's weird. It's you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, yeah,
It's
a
a
little
give and take.
bit.
It's a give and take. If you're not receiving, that means there's something that you're not giving, right?
Sure.
That's the way I see
Right.
it. If there's an issue in my results, I must look at the process. Where did I
Yeah.
miss something? Because all of
Right.
this other stuff, whether or not somebody decides to support you or not, is ultimately out of your control. You've
Right.
got to rely and trust that people are gonna come, people are gonna feel what you got to say, and people are
Mm,
gonna support because of that. They're not gonna support because you out here guilting people and shaming people
right.
into
Right.
supporting your
Right.
business just because you're black. And I
Right.
will take all of the black business support that I can get too. I want to say that too. You want to support a black business? I got a black business you can support, baby. But I'm also gonna make sure that it's actually valuable for you.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Speaking of value, bro, you be cooking your ass off, bro. What the hell? Want them pulled up. He can cook the shrimp and grits. He be making breakfast. He be making seafood.
Man.
Good lord, you eat Twan food, it's gonna bring you to a sweat, and it's not even hot. It's just good. Did you have like formal training or like what went into that?
uh, no. So no, there was no formal training. Um, I just come from a mother and a grandmother who cooked. My mom and my mom's mom, I just grew up watching them cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm the youngest on both sides, on my father's side and my mother's side. So, my brothers was grown out doing what they was doing. I was in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, helping. I was interested in it. I wanted to learn
Mhm.
the recipes, what made the sweet potato pie taste so good, like what made the mac and cheese creamy and taste good, like that. I was just very interested in that. I was a fat ass kid, so that probably has something to do with it. I like to eat.
Yeah.
um but yeah, from a young age there was just always just a fascination that I had with food. I remember when I was 7 years old, it was like Mother's Day, and I like made my mom. That was kind of the first time that I had ever cooked. I had been watching people kind of helping my mom, grabbing this from the refrigerator, putting this there, you know what I'm saying? But at 7 was the first time I was like, okay, I'm about to get in this kitchen and cook.
Mm.
The shit was terrible. I think the sausage wasn't cooked. The fucking bacon, the fucking eggs were like salty as hell. And I just remember my mama looking at me and being like, "Thank you, baby, but I'll
Just
make
saying it.
But that didn't stop me. You know what I'm saying? Whereas some people, that would have knocked them, their parent telling them, this ain't good. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, okay, cool. So I want my food to taste like yours because yours is good. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a fascination. It was really a fascination. And then when I was 10, my mom was working at this restaurant. And it was a restaurant of a family friend. So when I got out of school, I was always there. You know what I'm saying? I get my homework done, and then I'm helping them in the kitchen, frying chicken, cutting up collard greens. You know what I'm saying? Making the cornbread muffins. That was my shit. I used to make cornbread muffins. And I remember, I call her my cousin. Her name is Tish. She went up to her mom, whose name is Freddie, and she like, Mama, Antoine being here, like cooking, helping y'all, doing everything y'all doing. Like, why don't you give him his first job? So at 10 years old, my first job was working at a restaurant. I was making $25 a week.
Oh, lit. I thought you was about to say hour.
You said what?
I thought you was about to say $25 an hour.
Nah, but that
like,
$25 a week,
balling at
like
10 years old.
an hour at 10. And so, yeah, so that was my first job, cooking in a restaurant. But like I said, you know, like the older I get, I started to study acting and things like that. And although it was a passion, or I didn't realize how much it was a passion. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a childhood passion that kind of like reinvented itself in my adulthood. So yeah, so no, there was no formal training. It was just helping my grandma out in the kitchen, and just having a fascination for that. And just, my mom would always have, every holiday, my mom was throwing a barbecue, a Thanksgiving gathering, you know what I'm saying? Even though we ain't supposed to celebrate this shit, but you know what I'm saying? It was just always something being thrown at my house. And I just remember like being a kid and just seeing like all these people coming in and out of my house, like family, cousins, you know, my mom's friends and shit, and how they just love the food, and they just, you know what I'm saying? They would be eating, drinking, smoking. I'm a kid just watching this. It's a show. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just, the way that they just responded to having a good meal, you know what I'm saying, was just, it was crazy to me. And so I knew that I wanted to adopt that, but I didn't know quite how I would or if I would. But like I said, that it reinvented itself, you know what I'm saying, 2 years ago in my life. And that's just what it's been. It's been a lot of trial and error, trying shit out. Some things don't taste good, some things do taste good, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of get a high from that, just being in the kitchen, messing with the seasonings, the herbs, listening to the ancestors telling me, you know what I'm saying, that's too much, baby, or slow down. You know?
Take it easy, baby.
Exactly. But yeah, no formal training, just, you know, just trial and error, practicing, and just, you know, coming from a childhood of just helping out in the kitchen.
Sounds like some real homegrown, passionate stuff that's gonna come out in your food. I definitely taste the love in the shrimp, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
it's there. It's there. So, so you're based in LA. How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on my website. It's not up yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Right now you can contact me through IG, The Cooking Actor, which is basically like right underneath, right next to my name. You can also email me at thecookingactorcatering@gmail.com. But definitely check out my page. I'm very accessible, you know what I'm saying, which is why I hadn't done the website yet, because I kind of like being able to get DMs and talk to people and just kind of see like what they want, what they have a taste for, what they have a, you know what I'm saying, a feel for, which I had been feeling like I would lose some of that if I couldn't connect with them, if they went straight to the website. But as I grow my business and as I, you know what I'm saying, things start to, you know what I'm saying, evolve, I do realize that is an aspect that, you know, has to come. So I'm working on the website. But for now, just go ahead and DM me on Instagram at The Cooking Actor.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, Twan, what would you say is your ultimate goal, your ultimate dream, your ultimate vision? What are you creating?
Ah, ah. Ultimate dream. Okay, so I got a near future dream, and then I got an ultimate dream. So in the near future, I want a food truck that's just pulling up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Pulling up. I got my little bell like the ice cream man.
Yeah.
You can get your food. Shrimp and grits coming out the truck. You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
Beef Dumbo coming out the truck. That's near vision. Ultimate though, I want a nice sit down restaurant. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That has entertainment because I'm an actor. So got to have people in there singing. I feel like it's very typical to have like the jazz night vibe where you have the person singing on the mic. But I want to
Mhm.
create a vibe where you come and you see a show while you're eating dinner, and that's a
Mm.
part of it. That's a part of like your meal. That's a part of just your experience. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's my ultimate goal.
Mm.
Restaurants where people, you know what I'm saying, you'll come, your belly is getting entertained, your mind is getting entertained. Yeah, that's ultimate goal.
This
Multiple
is
restaurants in LA, in Oakland, in Atlanta, in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm not gonna ask you what the restaurant's gonna be called because some people might try to snatch that thing up because that
All
sounds
right.
like a good idea. Yes, indeed. So if anybody's listening, or to all the people who are listening right now, getting in at ground level, like you're seeing the vision, you're tapping into the vision. I want you to take advantage of the opportunity. The links are in the bio, in the description. Make sure you're reaching out to Twan Pope because you're not gonna be disappointed. I'm putting my name on that personally. That is a fact. And before we tap out, man, I want to ask you, what is the number one thing you want to leave the audience with when it comes to jumping out of your job and into your dream?
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Simple and plain.
You know, feel the fear, do it anyway. Start to think different. Start
Mhm.
to think different. Everything is not always what it seems. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that we got to unpack as adults that we were fed. We were fed a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you think different in most situations, that's how you gonna get the jump start. But
Right.
feel the fear. It's gonna be scary.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
no avoiding that. You know what I'm saying? The most motivated person still has fear. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? There's no avoiding the fear.
Right.
However, you can navigate within it.
Hmm.
So
Right.
feel the fear, do the shit anyway. Make it happen.
Yes,
If you
indeed.
want it, if you want it, if you love it, you gonna make it happen no matter what.
Hmm.
You gonna make excuses or you gonna make it happen.
Woo.
So
Good God, knocking them over the head. I hope that y'all been taking notes on this here episode. We're gonna do it scared. You're gonna feel the fear. You're gonna do it anyway because when you love what you do, you're gonna find a way. If you don't, you're gonna find an excuse. So that means no matter what your bank account looks like, whatever tomorrow looks like, whatever your wardrobe looks like, however many followers you got on Instagram, I don't care about none of that. Start making progress, commit, and decide to create a life that you could be proud of, one that you could be happy in. Because it's on you. Ain't nobody coming and save you. We're here to support you, but you got to do the work.
yeah,
Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, indeed. I want to thank you again, good brother, for speaking with us, for sharing your experiences, and for giving people something that they can work with and creating a vision and creating a life by design. And as always, for everybody watching, love, love, be well. Don't forget to have the guts to follow your guts. Peace.